Shriram Finance presents Spirit of Partnership, the story of Together We Soar.
Hello and welcome to this special conversation. Shriram Finance presents Spirit of Partnership, the story of Together We Soar in association with Storyboard 18. Joining us today is Elizabeth Venkataraman, Executive Director, Marketing at Shriram Finance, a company that has been at the forefront of retail asset financing for decades. In today's discussion, we will explore the inspiration behind their latest Together We Soar and how it reflects their commitment to empowering dreams and uniting India. Let's dive right in. Elizabeth, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Pleasure to be here.
So, Elizabeth, we know that Shriram Finance has been a leader in financial asset management for decades. How do your financial empowerment, which is your vision for the company, how does it reflect in your campaigns?
I think after the merger of two, three companies in Shriram Finance is now the largest retail NBFC in India. And the fact is that always we have tried to empower our customers in the heartland of India to be able to achieve their dreams. So it is about inclusive growth and the process of collective progress. That's really the process that we've always followed. We've concentrated on trying to give everybody the right to dream, dignity, and the ability to have access to financial resources, which is often a problem for the common man in India. They always feel helpless. I have a dream, I want to work hard, I'm part of Aspiring India, but how do I go about it? Who will trust in me? Who will believe in me? Who will guide me? So I think somewhere we've played that role of, because of our vision of wanting to empower communities, empower, the Indian common man and woman and their dreams. And that's really the heart of the campaign as well. So we've taken that vision. And for me, it's actually been quite simple. I have just gone and taken this story to the world. We have been doing this for 5 decades now, and we have not really told the story. So Together We Soar is actually one of our, our first attempts to actually tell the story and take the story to the world, which we've actually been doing for a very long time.
Yeah, and having said that, tell us what has been the inspiration behind Together We Soar. Tell us more about the insights from some of your interactions with your consumer base.
Yeah, so the Together We Soar is actually a celebration of our own customer stories. So whether it is the truck driver, whether it is that family planning progress, or whether it's a small business owner who's trying to go to the next level or even start. Right? There are so many stories of our customers who we've sort of guided through the process. There may be a cleaner or a driver who wants to become a fleet owner. We really have stories of people who, of many folks who live in mud houses in very, very rural areas who've actually now, prospered and gone on to live in the city and have a fleet of trucks. So these are the stories we're celebrating in Together We Soar. And if you look at the commercial, it really celebrates these kind of stories of, aspiring India, trying to achieve their dreams and actually making them happen.
Yeah, and speaking of inspiration, you have the very inspiring Rahul Dravid, the former coach of the Indian cricket team, as your ambassador. Tell us about the choice of this ambassador. What did you see in Dravid that reflected with the ideology or the message that you wanted to put forward?
I think the world knows and India knows that Rahul Dravid stands for resilience, determination, collective progress, teamwork, team spirit, and all of that. I think we just found such complementary values, right? I spoke about Shriram Finance and the ethos and the value systems we believe in, and which is rooted in trust and partnership. And that's exactly what Rahul Dravid brings to life. And interestingly, the campaign is set in a stadium. If you see, it's a place that unites India, right? There are people from all walks of life who come to watch cricket, leave everything behind, and then we unite for a purpose. So I think there is that metaphor which is there. And also, very, very interestingly, there's a slice of life from Dravid's own life. There are a few things that he probably wanted to do but didn't do as an individual, but he did as a team. And we brought all of that alive. So in many ways, he is perfect choice for the brand ambassador.
And as they say, India is a land of many religions and one religion, which is cricket. And you mentioned that, when you spoke about how, in a stadium and how stadium brings people together. But apart from Rahul, there are other set of ambassadors and faces that you have on board. Naseeruddin Shah, such a legendary actor. You have K.S. Chandra Bose also as a part of the campaign, and Madan Karki, who is also a part of the campaign. So tell us, getting this mix, this bunch to take your message forward.
So, as marketers, often we think in Hindi and then we translate. It does happen, right? I'm not saying everyone or everything, but it does happen. This is one where we wanted to change it. I wanted to change it because we are deeply connected in Bharat and the heartland of India. So being lingual and being rooted in the culture and ethos of the place was very, very important to us. And Naseeruddin Shah, I don't have to talk about his voice. It really brings the depth and gravitas which this campaign truly, needed to do. And that's what he's done for us. And the moment you hear the ad, there's so many people in the third line who say Nazir, with so much warmth and familiarity and endearment. And that's very, very heartwarming to see.
तो क्या अगर आज अकेले निकल पड़े, कल कारवां लेके चलेंगे। तो क्या अगर आज सिर्फ 2 हाथों की करामात है, कल कई हाथ सपना बुनेंगे। जब जुड़ेंगे तभी तो उड़ेंगे। सपना अकेले देखा तो क्या,
तो क्या,
तो क्या, तो क्या,
तो क्या,
एक साथ सच करेंगे।
And Tamil it's a very, very important market for us. It's very, very deeply connected in Tamil Nadu. The largest number of, largest footprint is there. So we wanted to take, the help to be so connected. And Madan Karki, his, with his poetic writing, did total justice. Because often you need that little bit of magic. And that's what he brought us in Tamil Nadu.
இன்று நீயோ செல்கிறாய் தனியாக, அதனால் என்ன, நாளை உலகை வெல்வாய் படையாக.
And Andhra, and Chandra Bose, the Academy Award winner, he, I think he just lit up the lyrics and made it so, a lot of people who listen to the Telugu tell us that, we can tell it's really, really nice. And the connection is deeper. So it was important to do these things to make the connections deeper and rooted perfectly in culture.
రేపది ఎన్నో చేతుల్లో కళకళలాడుతుంది. ఒక్కటవుదాం, ఎదుగుదాం. శ్రీరామ్ ఫైనాన్స్ ప్రతి ఇండియన్ కి తోడుగా ఉంది. ఒక్కటైతే ఎదుగుదామన్న నమ్మకాన్ని అందించడానికి.
It's multi-language campaign. The importance of, having it across different languages. What purpose does it serve across different markets? Why do you think it is important?
So if I tell you a piece of data, it'll be very, very interesting for you to know. Only 13% is urban, our customer base. So all of the rest are in semi-urban and rural. Half our business is in rural India. So it's very multilingual is more important for us than maybe firms operating in the urban market. So deep connection was extremely, extremely important. And apart from that, if you look at it, we have a diverse set of customers. We have the maybe the truck driver, maybe the the gold loan customer who's different, the two-wheeler customer who's slightly younger, and maybe the FD customer often perhaps a little older. Now, though, everybody, adopts FD. But so given that there were so many diverse geographies and so many diverse segments, and all often in interior India, it was important that we got the multilingual piece correct. Otherwise, it was very important, very, very difficult to deeply connect with our segments.
And in what other ways are you planning to localize, some of these campaigns to take it to like a wider audience in those particular region?
So we've planned a 360-degree, media campaign. Given the diversity of our segments, we've understood media habits very carefully, and then devised our, our campaign. So if you look at it, TV and digital build reach, right? Because our audience is still television. It's not the OTT audience. It is very much the core television audience. But however, if you look at it, they are using a lot of e-com platforms. There is a digital revolution even going into the heartlands, right? And thanks to UPI and so many other things, and e-commerce, which is helped. So there is a TV and digital for reach. There is outdoor and print, more for announcement and reminder. There is, we've also used cinema for the emotional quotient, and mostly single screens, because that's where our customers are. So it's been a fairly interesting study of our customers to see where they really are. And of course, impact properties, we did take cricket, because India, South Africa, or Pro Kabaddi League, because again, Kabaddi is a sport which is in the heartlands. The kind of involvement with the sport also baffled us, because we went and studied that sport, and therefore we are also on PKL. And and hope to connect deeply with our customers.
Yeah, and taking a step back and speaking about your role as the Executive Director and Head of Marketing at Shriram Finance, what are some of your top priorities shaping the strategies for the company?
It's actually so simple, because it's really that we want to tell the story that has actually been happening. For the last 5 decades, like I've shared with you, Shibani, we have been having deep relationships with our customers. Often we see broken relationships between with customers. In our case, we have that truly, it's a brand with with true intent of wanting to connect with customers, and we've built very strong relationships. We literally, for example, our truck driver segment or truck loan segment, we meet the customers every month physically. So whether it is to guide them, understand their problems, what is the next step, etc., etc. So my job is to bring that story to life. That's the first thing. And like the Shriram ethos believes, people first, whether it's their employees or their customers, and everything else will follow. I do have to track metrics, like every marketer, whether it's TOMS, PONT, consideration, all of those brand metrics and everything will be tracked and researched. But the core goal is to celebrate customer stories, really build on those stories, take those stories to the world, and tell what Shriram actually does. And the rest, I think, again, will follow.
Yeah, we'll speak more on the human stories very, very soon. But now it is time for a short break. But you stay with us as we continue this exciting conversation with Elizabeth Venkataraman. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Shriram Finance presents Spirit of Partnership, the story of Together We Soar.
Welcome back. You're watching Shriram Finance presents Spirit of Partnership, the story of Together We Soar, in association with Storyboard 18, and we are in conversation with Elizabeth Venkataraman. We are discussing innovative strategies behind Shriram Finance's latest campaign and the role of icons like Rahul Dravid in bringing this vision to life. Let's continue. So, Elizabeth, before slipping into a break, we spoke about some of the human stories, and how you interact with some of your consumers, going to Bharat and, speaking about Shriram Finance with some of these folks. Tell us some interesting insights, some stories that have emerged out of these conversations, out of your interactions with them.
It's actually always interesting to meet customers, and let me start with something I found in gold loan, right? Normally one thinks that gold loan has stigma and the people do worry about having stigma around gold loans. But surprisingly, I think that stigma is going away. People are more and more understanding it's a very prudent way of, taking loans. And I did find when I spoke to some of the women, right, they said something very interesting. They said that we look at it as a continuous form of credit where we do wear our jewelry for a wedding and then keep it back and take the loan. Often for the next wedding, because much of interior India, the wedding is a big thing. And they again take it back and wear it for a wedding and put it, keep it back at the loan. So there was it was a continuous process, a very interactive process, and a process where they could easily fit their loans and their, their life needs. So I found that a very interesting campaign, and we did make that into, I found that a very strong insight that it sort of also helps, because if you have flexible tenures, it also helps them fit it into their lifestyle. So we did build that into the product and make those changes, of course. The second thing is in what we do a lot of is the commercial vehicle loan. And I had met a whole load of, truck fleet owners, truck drivers, cleaners, all of them who were from, probably a very, very interior part of India and literally lived in a mud house, right? And how they have had those ambitions and got access to credit. They felt helpless at a point. They were, what do I do with my life? That's really the sentiment. I am willing to work hard, I'm willing to do this, I'm willing to do that, but how do I get support? Which is when that, they figured there is us who can help them out and give them access to credit, given, of course there are conditions and terms and all of that is there, but still that access is very important, and they've actually prospered. The entire family came to meet me, to say thank you. And we have come all this way, and we're very, very grateful. So these stories that you pick up from the ground really are heartwarming. So and they give you deep insights on how strong the relationships can be when you help somebody when they're at their wit's end, right? So many of these insights have gone back into creating the campaign.
Campaign interestingly also emphasizes on themes like partnership, like unity. How do you hope, some of these messages will connect across your diverse consumer base from, the rural market to the urban market?
So, Shibani, I have to share, there's something else in the campaign which is very interesting, and we found this nugget when we were interacting with customers. The so what philosophy, which I will say as to kya in Hindi, or Adana Lenna in Tamil, or Adanda, in Malayalam, or whatever. So the thing is that there is a strong so what philosophy, which many of the aspiring India, while we've given it a term, and I've given it a term, they do it. They say, we have all these problems, so what? I'm going to find a way. And that so what philosophy is also what the campaign captures, because that so what philosophy gives room for interactions, connections, to lean in, to figure solutions. And that also, sort of builds the platform for collective progress. Because then if you seek help, then someone can come in, or if you seek support, it can be a family member, it can be a financier, it can be a sister, it can be a friend. But that's really what this campaign is about, that it is a process of collective progress. And that's how we can make, progress, and that's what we should be doing.
How wonderful. Also, I have seen that marketing financial services can be very, very functional. Like, you communicate the function of a particular product or offering in your messaging. How do you, as a leader, balance this with emotional and creative elements in your campaigns, considering it's a very competitive landscape, it's a very competitive market?
So financial services marketing is always complex, has many layers, but and also it's important to be functionally the product to be sound. And we have a very competitive set of offerings across fixed deposits, loans, whether it's commercial vehicle, gold, or two-wheeler, or all of that. We do have that. But when we did the research and the equity study, we found that the strongest thread that's holding Shriram, across products, services, and segments is relationships. So I said that if this is the strongest, and that gives so much of emotion, and why not bring it to life? So that was one. And the second is, I also found that since we've not advertised too much in the past and we've just kept doing what we do, there was a very compelling need to build a unifying narrative because we meant different things to different segments. So it was all of this put together that required a compelling unifying narrative, which we've put together in Together We Soar.
Great. Now, finally, before we go, what's next? After Together We Soar, what's next? How do you build consistent messaging and build a brand? What is the brand building exercise and engagement, consumer engagement that we'll see from Shriram Finance going forward?
Of course, the task is cut out. We will, like I said, we will look at all the metrics. We will build on the metrics. That is a marketer's job, which has to be done. But more than that, I think it's important to make it a household name in India. And that is the dream. That dream is somewhat on its way. And that has already been done by the business by a lot. But it can be always, better and more contemporary, more relevant, more continuous, etc. So we will continue to strengthen relationships. It's a valuable thing that we have. We will continue to talk about it and strengthen relationships with our customers, build it deeper. So that's one. Of course, the second is staying modern, relevant, youthful. That's always a task for legacy brands. We're 5 decades old, and we will always have that, always have that challenge of having to stay with the times, keep up with the times. That's that. So that will come with certain level of innovation and modernization and digitization and all of that. So that'll have to be definitely looked into. And I guess the multilingual effort will need to continue even more as we go deeper into India and we talk to our rural consumers. So all of that put together, I think I have my task cut out, and I'm looking forward to it.
And that wraps up our inspiring conversation on Together We Soar. Thank you, Elizabeth Venkataraman, for sharing such valuable insights into the vision and creativity behind Shriram Finance's campaigns. To all our viewers, campaigns like these remind us of the power of partnership and unity in achieving dreams. Stay tuned for more such conversations only here with us. Until next time, take care.
Shriram Finance presents Spirit of Partnership, the story of Together We Soar.